Dome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. This will be taken short. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Ready? Track 25. Hey, stop. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. So that'll back him up 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Check 3. Check 37.
Jameis to throw it. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle?
And Winston lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. Taking it right down Broadway. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. Lutz on for the point after. And it's good. as the Saints have a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Saints 7, Buccaneers nothing. Will watch the kickoff for New Orleans.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken very short. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Ready? Blue ready. Ready.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 45 on second down, Winston. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now it's the former Badger, Dare Ogunbowale. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Buccaneer first down.
Ready. Black 22.
Let's go, G.
Hey. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Got 4 down, 4 down.
Check 26. Check 26. Hey, stop. Let's go.
A first down throw for Winston. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Check. Let's go.
Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Von Bell. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
54, right there. 54, Mike. You got nothing to run. You got nothing.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Hey, echo.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara there to make the grab. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Peyton Barber. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 24-yard line.
22, Mike 22. Here I come. Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike, I'm coming.
From the 24, Winston. This goes to Barber, the running back. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To throw is Winston. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Saints take over 1st and 10.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Breeze now on 1st down. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
45, Mike, 45. Here it comes.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches.
I'm coming. Ready?
He can run for it, and he will. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
Hey, wahoo!
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
On 1st down, Hill. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A very solid gain of 27. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Here we go. Set. 15, Lonnie. 15, Lonnie. 54. I'm coming after you. 61. Matchbox lights.
Hey, 1 set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Yo, go.
Here I come. Shoot.
Get it.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Down. Hand it over. General West.
It's now 2nd and 6
Orbis.
at the Buccaneers.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Hill. Cook's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jared Cook there to make the grab. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken short. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Barber on 1st and 10. It was P.J. Williams that time on the tackle. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
And an alley to run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10.
45, 45, Mike, 45. All day, just like that, just like that. 45 to Mike, 45.
Big dribble.
From the gun, here's Hill. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Check three. Right there, 54, right there. 54, Mike. Watch the run. Check out.
Five.
54 is Mike. Check.
2nd and 10. Hill again. On the Buccaneer pressure, too much. Down he goes. William Golston able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Here's Hill. And he's going to go down again. Ndamukong Suh with a sack. We've seen that a ton since he entered the league in 2010.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if he runs some type of miss.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Hill now after the interception. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's now 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Here we go, here we go. 6-6, pull it high.
Shit. Mike 54. Mike 50.
Yep.
Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Play that time.
Five.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz to try to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
That's the score. Saints 28, Buccaneers 0. Will Lutz to kick off for New Orleans.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken very short. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
24-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Here we go. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
Hustle, hustle.
Now it's the backup Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Zoom, zoom. 54. Watch 54.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Ready?
So Breeze is going to stay out there, and they're going to go for this on 4th down.
Hey, kill. Hey, Alpha.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
They do go for it. It's Breeze. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They'll go again to Jones. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Ready? White 25. Green, triple team.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson able to drop in that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do the...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Trey Hendrickson, and the Saints will have the football back. The D.